I'm Ellen Brockley. I'm VP of the Microsoft Alliance with Microshare. We find that our partnership with Microsoft is so valuable and so intensive that it takes a team of people from our company to actually make sure we take the best advantage of all the technology and all the partnership opportunities they bring to us. So I'm very happy to be here today to talk a little bit about how we are thinking about IoT and how we are working with partners such as you and with Microsoft to create solutions that solve real problems for real customers. We spend a lot of time at Microshare thinking about how data can be used to inform decisions that improve wellness and safety and ensure security and provide business value to reduce costs and improve service. So we've come together to create a concept starring our CEO, Ron Rock, in a short video about what a day in the life of IoT should look like.
Hey, Melvin. Busy office today. Air quality, check. Gonna need another coffee. Too many people in there. Gonna have to wait. Got to report the towels are out. Wow, you guys are on it. An open field for coffee. This place could use a cleaning. We gotta stop meeting like this. Oh, I gotta get to that presentation.
So as you can see, that was a take on how IoT data can be used for a number of different services. So knowing where people are and how they're using the space improves their wellness and safety. We can focus on cleaning areas as they've been used, or allow crowdsourced feedback to let the facilities management team know when a place needs to be cleaned. That decreases costs, improves productivity, and increases the happiness of the people in the space. And when you allow them to understand where people are and how they've been using the space, you give them power to choose how they want to interact with the space. And as we go through the return to work initiatives that a lot of companies are looking at, that becomes crucially important to make sure that employees and guests, visitors are happy in the space that they're in and want to spend time there. So understanding that and providing that information actually also feeds into ESG and sustainability, because the social portion of ESG especially is very difficult to measure, but is becoming increasingly important as a requirement for reporting and compliance. And so if you can understand how people are interacting with the space and how they feel about being in the space, and knowing that the space is clean, you can actually measure that and provide those feedback metrics that you need for ESG and sustainability. Microshare is built for scale. We have created our platform and our solutions so that we can deliver tens of thousands of sensors across multiple countries in weeks. We have a new feature that is revolutionary called Deploy M, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's a mobile app that allows you to identify the sensors and attach them to a space in the digital world. so that you can create that digital twin as you're doing the deployment. We are a single platform for IoT data for multiple solutions. We're not a siloed solution. We have over 22 solutions: occupancy, air quality, feedback, leak detection, light, sound measuring, refrigeration monitoring. We have a number of solutions that are all built on the same platform, so that once you build that infrastructure and you have that, you build those roots, you can build your IoT solution on top of it in any number of different ways. We expand in multiple dimensions. So you can add more solutions, and you can also expand throughout your entire enterprise. We are LoRaWAN experts. We are an early member of the LoRa Alliance. And I'll tell you a little bit more about why that becomes important. But LoRaWAN is the de facto standard now for IoT networking in the world. It's ubiquitous, it's global, it's secure, and it has some cost-effective and coverage advantages and benefits that are very, very compelling. We wanted to be sure that our solutions are affordable. And so we've created a model that is disruptively inexpensive. We provide our solutions as a subscription, so there's no need for a capital investment at all. We monitor the health of all of the devices. We make sure that the data is flowing, and we provide the data through a set of dashboards and analytics for you, but we also provide a data stream so that you can take that data and bring it into your own environment, as I'll see in an architecture diagram here in a minute. At the foundation of the architecture that we've built together with eMagic and Microsoft is the Microshare sensing network up in the left corner here. The key advantage and differentiator for us is our deployment application. It's a mobile application called Deploy M, and it allows you to map the sensor with the location where you've installed it. So in the video, we had the men's room. We also had a kitchen area that could have been on the 3rd floor. So we would define that in the app. You would scan a QR code on the sensor that you wanted to place in that area, and then choose 3rd floor kitchen. From the app, will automatically create that digital twin and create that metadata that lets us know that the sensor is in that particular location. Once those data generators, those sensors are in place, we call it telematic data. That telematic data is then sent to a LoRa gateway, which you simply plug into a wall socket. We recommend that you put it in a utility closet or someplace that is secure, so that you can't unplug it and take it away. We've had a couple of situations where the cleaners actually have unplugged the gateway so they could plug in the vacuum cleaner in a space during the evening hours. And so we want to make sure that the gateway is plugged in, and then the data will automatically come through the gateway into the Microsoft network server, where we unpack it, decrypt it, and prepare it. We annotate it with contextual data so that we report which piece of telematic data is coming from which sensor, so we can map it back to that digital twin. We feed that data stream then into TwinWorks in the eMagic Azure site, and they prepare it to go into Azure Digital Twins. With Azure Digital Twins, they create a single pane of glass that creates occupancy reports and other useful information about the rooms that you're monitoring with the kit. So they provide real-time dashboards and trending analytics that you can use to really understand how people are using your space and make decisions about how to improve the service for that space. The Microshare sensing network uses LoRaWAN, and we very specifically chose LoRaWAN because it is becoming the de facto standard for IoT networking in the world. It is a long-range wireless protocol. There's no interference from other wireless solutions, and a single gateway can capture data from up to 15 kilometers if it's an outdoor gateway. It's a very secure network. As I mentioned, the data's packets are packed. They're encrypted at the sensor level. They go straight through the LoRa gateway in that same format, and only are unpacked and decrypted once they hit the Microshare system. The battery life is very long. These sensors are extremely efficient, and the batteries in these can last up to several years. They're easy to install, and there is no wiring required. But the most important part about this is it is a global open standard. There are over 500 members of the LoRa Alliance. So we, and by definition you, are not locked into a particular vendor. There are sensor vendors, there are other providers who are all developing technology and devices for the LoRa protocol. So we have a lot to choose from. So what's in the box? We include all the connectivity and all the devices you need to monitor 2 restrooms and 2 meeting rooms. We included the LoRa gateway. The devices for the restrooms are 2 motion sensors that sit over the door. These are not cameras. They only measure door opening and closing. And by door opening and closing, we divide by 2. We can create a proxy for how many people have used that space, which can be very useful when you're scheduling on-demand cleaning. So you may say a threshold of 50 people in the space, send in a cleaner. That data is absolutely available to you immediately. We've included 2 feedback sensors. So you saw in the video that we could request paper or ask for a clean. So the buttons are defined for leak detection, to report a leak, or paper, soap, or it needs to be cleaned, or the thumbs up in the middle, you're doing a good job, this space is great. Also included is a magnet. This offers another method to send a signal through the feedback sensors. If you touch the magnet on the bottom of the sensor, cleaners can use this to identify that they've attended or that they've taken care of this space. So that can be very useful in understanding service level agreements. So if someone requests a service, the service provider can then indicate when they've completed that service. So that gives you a whole nother level of information about how well you're doing and how well you are taking care of your space. For meeting rooms, we have two sensors that measure motion within the room. So it's measuring occupancy that will tell you if there are people in the space. And so we recommend that you use your busy meeting rooms and your busy restrooms to monitor this data, to collect this data and to monitor it over the time of the trial. Included in the service and with the kit is a fully managed Azure service, so you don't have to worry about the extra cost of using your Azure tenant. We have IoT EZ dashboards and analytics. As I mentioned, the gateway and the network management software is there, so you don't have to worry about the technology or the complexity of that. We have technical support, so we'll be there to help you with deployment. We'll be there to help to monitor your device health and answer any ongoing questions you have. And then we'll also have business support to help you understand how to read the data, how to analyze it, and how to use it to improve your business, and also to give you some ideas about how to expand that so that when you think about your IoT roadmap or achieving that IoT vision, you can use this information and this learning and this knowledge to start building that fundamental roadmap that you need to go forward. And of course, we want you to continue, we want to expand your solution set, whether it's offering more solutions or different solutions or expanding to your entire building or your portfolio of buildings. We're going to be there to help you with that proposal. So what are the terms of the deal? We set this up as a 90-day trial, which is plenty of time for you to generate data, analyze it, and start thinking about what you can do with it in the future. The $5,000 fee includes the devices I described, the network, the Azure services, technical support, and business support for you throughout the entire trial period. There's a $45 shipping and handling charge, and we'll also take a $1,000 deposit at the beginning, which will be refunded at the end of the trial if you return the devices or expand your installation. It's easy to buy. We've set up an e-commerce site called twinworks.myshopify.com. So if you just go to that site and enter your details, we'll ship a kit with it to you within a couple days and you'll be up and running. So one of the things that we really want to focus on before we go today is what are the business benefits, even just from the kit? So one of the issues that we're all facing with return to work is over allocation of real estate resources. A lot of companies have a whole lot more real estate in their portfolio that they are leasing that they don't really need. When you understand how many people are in your space and when they're there, you can actually start thinking about and creating plans for lease optimization, reducing that very high cost, business cost of leases. You can improve your operations dramatically by providing better service. Again, is you see somebody asking for service in a restroom or a kitchen area to be cleaned, you can respond very quickly, and that increases the happiness and the wellness of the people in the space, and it also increases your ESG profile as well. And what are the benefits for the people in this space? Well, cleanliness has been shown to be a very key indicator in the happiness of people in a space, and even goes so far as to say, talk about their happiness or their confidence in the leadership in the organization that they're working for. When you can adapt the space to the real usage, you end up with powerful decisions about how to arrange that space. So you can improve the workspace experience for people if you need more common areas or more pods or telephone rooms, or you may need more offices or meeting rooms. You can get all this kind of information from knowing how many people are there and how they move around the space. And then again, at the very end of the day, you want to provide higher levels of service so that people are happy, they want to come back to work, and they want to work for you. So we've created the IoT EZ kit for you to kickstart your IoT vision, because we believe that once you see data flowing through and you can match it to your business and know how people are using your space, that will generate many new questions and new ideas for how to improve your business. But you really can't analyze data that you don't have. You could always come up with new ideas for how to analyze historical data, but if you don't capture it, you're not going to be able to do that. So we encourage you to build the infrastructure that you need. Start with something simple, but make sure it's a platform that you can use to grow and that will help you understand the complexity of your space and how to create an IoT roadmap that takes you to the future.
So Dale and Ellen, I see some questions in the chat that I'd like to cover with you before we break. So the first question is, how easy is it to install, and do I need an engineer or an IT specialist?
I can take that one. No, you don't need either of those resources. The IoT EZ Kit is designed to be super easy to install. Just receive your box, take the kit out, peel off the stickers. We provide detailed instructions on where best to situate the sensor in the location. So you'll be up and running in no time at all. You can log in, see your data, and start looking at the results of the sensors.
Wonderful. And I'm assuming both you and Ellen will be, and you're both Microshare and eMagic will be around to assist clients if they get stuck somewhere in the process.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Wonderful. The next question I see is, we are very concerned about security. In fact, that was one of the blockers that I mentioned in adopting IoT. How can I be sure that my data is safe?
The IoT sensor data goes through the LoRaWAN network, and we chose LoRaWAN because of its security. It sits completely outside your corporate network, so there's no danger of interfacing within any of your corporate systems. It is the fastest growing IoT network for a reason. It is adopted by customers and vendors across the world because of its integrity and because of the nature of its security.
Great, thank you. The next question I see is, how reliable is your solution?
I could take that. Well, it's very reliable. Not only do the devices have very long battery life, in addition to monitoring the health of the devices, the network and the sensors. We will also provide support during US Eastern business hours to address any questions or concerns that you might have. So we'll be with you every step of the way, detailed instructions and support available on the web and through our support services. You can reach us and we'll be happy to help you out.
Super. And then maybe you could take this one, Ellen. How long will the hardware last, the whole system, if I get the radio and the various sensors?
Oh, it lasts as long as you like it to. We're developing these kits as a starter. So we're hoping that you will find the value. We're convinced that you will, and that you'll want to expand beyond that. But the devices themselves will last 3 to 5 years on the batteries that come with it, and the gateways are plugged into an AC outlet in the wall, so we'll be able to it generates power from there. So they're designed to last for a very long time.
Well, that's exciting. So my last question, and both of you can address this one, is what happens after the trial? So I've tried the kit, it works wonderful, and I'm excited about the results for my business. Then what happens?
We're going to support you throughout the trial to make sure that you are understanding the data and seeing the value of the data that we're generating. So what we want to do is help you create that roadmap, create that IoT future, that vision that you want to accomplish, and we'll be there to help you figure that out.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is that, you know, we have other IoT solution kits. We have other IoT solutions that can address different use cases. And of course, with the foundation that we're putting in place, you know, this is a system, you know, based on Azure cloud services, Microshare data services, and eMagic TwinWorks. We can actually connect to other systems in your environment. So your building automation system or your HVAC or other parts of your building that you want to bring in and start analyzing data and start creating kind of correlations and that kind of analytics about the space, the people in it, how it's being used, and how the building is performing. So there's a lot of places you could go with this kind of solution, and we'd be happy to have that kind of conversation with you to talk about your needs and how the results you're seeing from the trial and places that are of interest to the key stakeholders in your business.
Well, I want to thank both of you for this exciting opportunity, and it's been a pleasure working with you as we put together the IoT EZ platform. I'm so excited that this is just the first one that we're introducing, and that we plan to introduce others to help our clients on their IoT journey as we start melding their infrastructure together into a digital world. So we'll have mappings and modeling for both the digital and real world together. And we will, in the future, very shortly, be able to address things like your air quality and your desk occupancy and leak detection and many other applications that will all run on the same architecture that will help you as you expand and transform with your IoT. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us at the end of this webinar.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jenna.
everyone.
Yeah.